May his favor be upon you and 1,000 generations, for your family and your children and their children and their children and their children and their children. I can't imagine losing a son. What is it like to receive that bone-numbing call, or officers at your door? Do you cry? Do you freeze, desperately hoping for 1 second the world would stop in its tracks, that in your frozen state, seconds would refuse to tick, realization would not dare dawn, and time would turn back in protest? Do you fall to the ground? Do your knees hit the floor, unable to coordinate a safe landing? Do your hands grip the earth, hoping to steady the spinning ground? Does your skin feel the air around you, the breeze wafting in from the doorway? Do your eyes fight to focus while your mind distorts memory and plays back in chaotic fashion? Can you breathe in a breath, or must you fight between gasps? Do you know what breath is, or has that friend betrayed you, now stuck in its house? Or maybe your strength upholds the image you were portraying. Do you stand before those words unfeeling like you were taught? Do you stand tall when the last goodbyes are said, until each person has left, knowing that last closed door solidifies that you are now -1? Can you remain strong after that? And in that moment, when reality begins to hit and the ground slows to stop, then and only then do you begin to see the end of your hope? Do you see the birth of your promise slain in the road? Do you see the next steps he intended to take? Or does his future stop dead, merely empty footprints that were never made? Can the feeling of sight ever come back? Or will this blindness persist, intrusive and unwelcome? Does this last forever? Can you no longer see his wedding day? Does your mourning remind you of his once future joy? Do you try to imagine what his wife would look like? Or do his future kids start to dissolve in the imagined recesses of your mind? When you mourn your son, do you mourn the reality that you will never hear his kids call you grandma? Will never see their first recitals? Will never even see life in their eyes? Can you grasp the death of your son when in an instant life was forced out of its lineage, a legacy evicted and stripped short? Do you even have the strength to think? And when you come out of your stillness, can you open your eyes? Or do you hide behind closed lids praying for more time? Can you look at your family as they once were? Or do you see several timelines all cut short at the ends? Do you wonder if this blessing was made for you? Or if this wonderful wine was only intended for them? If this blessing is for all, why is it robbed from so many? And when the thief boldly persists year after year, will the church not cry out? Will she command him to stop? Or will she shelter her own and rub dirt in her eyes? And who will pay the price of a dream interrupted? When a man takes a stand between God and another, who will repay the thousands of lives he's killed when only one lies before him? What justice can balance this long bloodshed? For a mother without sight and a son without life. Nothing. Nothing. And so change must be her substitute. It's a sorry trade. But hopefully, just maybe, that change will outlive her. It will outlive the nightmare she has woken up to. It will outlive her tired eyes and weary soul. Maybe that change will become his legacy, and his legacy would be upheld by hers. And his, and his, and hers, and all those who have passed before. And maybe her hope is nursed to life by the church, by one that stands for the blessing of our people, because she knows it is her own. Just maybe. For your family and your children and their children and their children.